Hi, and welcome back to the BFE podcast, guys. I am super excited to bring you this episode. We've been talking about this behemoth sitting across from me for a long time. My brother has finally joined the BFE boys on the podcast, so super excited for that. He came down from Dayton, so drove an hour and a half to be here, so definitely very grateful for that. So stay tuned for this episode. It's going to be dropping every Monday. If you guys want to follow along on this journey, hit that subscribe button. All other socials will be popping up in the background, so if you guys want to give us a follow on that. And we're going to jump right into it. Isaac, how are you? How was your day today?
It's not bad. I've made a decent amount of money today.
So you're big into the sports gambling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think you're big into that because Dad, back in the day, like we've always been around a little bit of gambling. Our dad used to host pretty big poker tournaments, or he would go to poker tournaments a lot.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I played in them.
Well, I'm talking the big. I thought you only played in one of the big ones.
I went with him, Big D, all of them. I went.
Really?
Yeah, they paid for my entry, and then when I lost, I'd obviously work off the money and stuff. But there was a couple of those I actually won.
I know. One of the times you did win, like they were pretty proud of you and stuff. But
so
we've been around gambling a lot, but it's always fun. It was never like I know it kind of sounds bad, doesn't it?
I mean, not necessarily.
But
you're the one that used to go to casinos all the time.
I still do. I love the casino.
So, I mean,
these guys know. Like I literally got offered. I should have kept it in. I cut all of it already out from the last episode, but I had a ride to the casino and back last night, and I still didn't go.
I mean, sometimes it's better to not go.
Well, so me and the wifey fucking for this month we've been trying not to spend any money. So, and like going to the casino, don't get me wrong, like I still have casino money, which mine is like just a wad that I've won, like that I just keep pulling from. Yeah. Typically when I go to the casino, I bring $500. Yeah. I think that's a good chunk of change. I know people are like, holy shit, that's kind of a lot. No, it's not. I've been gambling a good bit now, and I've come to the realization you have to spend money to make money at a casino. And that type of wad is almost a perfect amount. People think 1,000 is a perfect amount, which it is. It's nice to have, but 500 is good too, because that's 5 100 bills that you have to slap down on a table. Because typically when I walk up to a table, I'm either doing roulette or blackjack. If I burn $100, I know that table's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, now, have I gone down $700 in the first 20 minutes before? Yeah, I was chasing the red, brother, and it never hit. So, but to be fair, I did win all that back plus another 100. Yeah. So I walked out with $800, only up 100. But like when I post those pictures of me, like with like sitting next to a stack of fucking chips, or like, typically those chips are only $5 bills, like fives. Yeah. So it's not a ton, but visually it looks like a ton.
Yeah.
But and then
it's either that or you just bought the chips to sit down at the table.
I don't know. The most I've ever won is like, I want to say like $1,200.
That's still solid though.
No. I mean, I'm a decent gambler. Like I would say, like I said, I come with 500. My limit's typically 300. But like I said, sometimes you're just chasing that red, dude.
I mean, that's how gambling works. That's how it gets you.
Here, pull the mic up like kind of in your face because you're like mumbling.
I'm not trying to yell like you.
Well, the audio, it's best. Like I said, if you just get in on it, like you can.
Real close.
Yeah.
Sorry.
See, yeah, I wonder why I'm so much fucking louder than you.
I mean, I can be loud when I have to be.
I know you can, but why is it? Like everyone always says that, yeah, we kind of look alike, but
it's one or the other. It's either people that see us and see pictures of us. They're either like, you guys look so much the same, or you guys look nothing alike.
Everyone always tells me you look like Cody.
Yes.
At the wedding?
At your wedding, it was literally everyone's like, so those two are brothers. Who the fuck is the guy getting married?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
but, I mean, I get it.
I think it's because I take more from, like, Neil and Dad's stuff, and you take more from...
Betsy.
Yeah.
So. Oh, yeah. I get it. 100%. I mean, even some of the chicks thought Dad was attractive. I was like, what? But, I mean, he is. I mean, he's a tall, slender-looking man. Like, I think, like, people... I don't know. I guess that's the first time they've ever been around a lot of my family. Like, and I mean, the chicks, like, when they saw Cody, they're like, damn. I was like, hey, that was a stud over there. But I mean, baseball player. He's getting into weightlifting. I think he's done with baseball.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, him and his girl were asking me about some of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too,
She
so.
actually got him into weightlifting, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, however you get into it. It's
yeah.
good.
Well, we're gonna jump into a couple things. Isaac not only is super big into weightlifting and stuff, but he's also in the military. He's in the Air Force, the Chair Force. I don't know. I don't understand why the Air Force gets such a bad rep, and I feel like it is just because a lot of people think you guys are just pencil pushers, this, that, or the other. Like, you guys never see the front lines. Like,
it just depends. I mean, it's like that for the fact that it's harder to get into the Air Force. You have to be more, I guess, intelligent.
Yeah.
For testing.
Yeah.
Air Force compared to like at least Army and Marines, you have to actually test to get rank. So to rank up, you actually have to test and be good, be smart on top of knowing your job. Whereas Army and Marines, typically it's you shoot good, you do good in PT, you can rank up really fast. So that's a huge difference between that kind of stuff. And a lot of
I feel like I'd like the other shit better.
I mean, a lot of people will.
Yeah,
but that's the thing is a
skill-based.
lot of military jobs that are Air Force are behind desks because it's a lot of intelligent stuff.
Oh, and to be fair, of course I'm gonna back the Air Force because my brother's in it. But to be fair, I mean, you need those dudes back there like planning. Like, I mean, that's just like me. Like, I'm a foreman. I know this is kind of, I guess, trying to relate to in any aspect I can. So like me, typically, like this Friday, I had a 1-day job that I had to finish up, meaning I have to go into this house. I've never been there before. I have to gut this shower system down to the studs and then build a shower back there in 1 day.
Yeah.
What time do you think I showed up? Okay, I got there at 9:30. What time do you think I left? Or was done with the system?
I don't know, 4 or 5.
1:45.
Oh, that's actually faster than I thought.
Guess how long I've been at this company almost?
Didn't you say it was it's been years?
Almost 8 years.
Yeah.
I've almost been at this company a decade.
You've been at that job almost as long as I've been in the military.
Isn't that insane? But it's kind of crazy to me, and I don't mean to brag, but honestly, that's fucking impressive. I don't care what anyone says. That's impressive. We might not be doing tile work, but it's still fucking beautiful stuff that we're putting in. It's not peel and stick shit. Like, it's legit Corian.
Yeah.
Like, I could show it to you, but I just think I finally have the confidence in myself. One, my skills are getting like there, like catching up, and I think everything's just coming together now. And I even called like my boss, like my head manager, and told him, I was like, "Hey, brother, I'm done." He literally like paused and he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." And he's like, "Damn," because he's the guy that taught me everything, Anthony.
Well, I can tell. Well, yeah, I mean, I know Anthony. But I can tell you I think that's just how we are as like Morrisons. Like, whenever I get a task or a job issued to me, I'm always like, if you give me an objective to get done,
Gonna get done.
it's gonna get done as fast as I can, but as good as it can be done.
Yeah.
Some people are able to like do tasks and draw it out to make extra. I'm getting in, getting my stuff done, getting out. And I think that's something we both have done pretty much our entire lives. So
I think it just comes from in me being a dad now and stuff like that. I'm finally understanding like our parents and like I'm fine.
Oh yeah.
Until like it's easy for me to sit here and say like we had a good child. We had a weird childhood, pretty bad. But when we got up here, we had a good life. Now we did bump heads with our parents a lot. We both moved out at 18.
Some of us more than others.
You're saying you did more than me?
I'm saying some of us bumped heads with Dad and Shelley more than others, meaning me.
I feel like unlike you and Sadie, I knew how to move. You guys didn't.
So you
come on.
No, you knew how to play the system.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to say. So you were essentially, if people were to say it
a
this
people
way,
pleaser.
You would be the angel child of the three of us.
Yes,
'cause you got to
100%.
do what you wanted because you played the game.
Yes,
you did the system.
100%.
I was always the one
that
did what I wanted, and
to a
paid
certain
the
point,
price.
you knew what you could get away with and what you couldn't get away with. And I think Sadie was just like, "Fuck it, dude."
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, looking back on it, and I don't care, our parents were way too hard on us. But
yeah.
But hold on, kind of playing devil's advocate on that shit. it did make me into the man I am today, and I'm very proud of that. And same with you, and you should be very proud of that.
No, I am.
Because, and that's what I've been finding with like raising my 10-year-old. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's
also what I found is siblings are very important. Like you and me, we were definitely way closer than Sadie. Like
oh yeah,
and we were pretty close in age. Like we were pretty even. Not like we were pretty evenly matched too. Like there was sometimes I would get the better of you, and there's sometimes I would get fucking crushed.
Yeah,
and that was fucking fun. Like out in the backyard when you would run my shit over. I'd be like, I will fucking break every bone in your body. Like, I want to just get, like, after you.
We've had
like
that competitive stuff since we were kids, and it's never went away.
To
this day, it's still there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But it's definitely waning because we're in it's hard to be competitive because we're in two different fields of life.
The competitive spirit is there. It's just, given whatever it is we're competing at is going to dictate how severe it is.
I wish I could show you his truck. His truck is a lot like mine, but a little older, and it's a diesel, and it screams down the road, whistles, like it's dope. But
yours is a pavement princess. Mine's actually used to do a lot of off-road stuff and things like that.
Mine, I don't. Mine's more of a trophy for me. I'm not gonna lie. It sits in the garage, and every time I come home, like that one day job, my hands are bleeding trying to rip out this tile, doing this, and I walk through the garage and I see that thing, and I'm just like, that's why I do it. Like that's why. I busted my ass.
And I mean, I view mine the same way. It's just mine's probably my favorite investment that I've made to this date.
And I'm not gonna lie, every time like I drove it today, like I get to drive my truck almost once a week, sometimes twice a week. And those times when I'm sitting in it and I'm just like, this is like, and you'll see like people just looking at you and you're just like, it's a dream come true, and it's something that I've worked hard for, and same with you. You've busted your ass. Like you just said, you've been in the military for almost 8 years now.
Almost 9.
9, yeah, dude.
Yeah, March will be 9.
That's impressive. Now, I know there was like up in the air about you getting out or getting in or staying in or whatnot, but my opinion, it'd be stupid for you to get out. You're almost halfway to retirement.
Oh no, I know. I mean,
like, wait, no, it's 18 years that you can retire.
20 years is to retire.
Is it? Yeah. Okay, so you're fucking 1 year away from almost being halfway.
No, it's not a choice. I mean, I would like to stay in. There's just some stuff that's,
I get. Yeah. Dude, you're a proud man, and you're a pretty big dude. Like there's things that like some people might say to you that might rub you the wrong way, and like your best friend is a prime example. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought fucking Sean would still be in the military. There's no fucking way.
Why?
And if you bullshit, Sean going into the military. If you didn't think like he was gonna slap the shit out of one of his officers,
no. See, that's the difference is that you don't know him like I do.
I probably don't.
Honestly, Sean was the reason I even joined. Sean, out of everybody that I've had around me, has been beside me since 6th grade when we became best friends.
Yeah,
he's the man who keeps me grounded and keeps me actually level-headed with a lot of stuff. Sean is in one of the best positions he could have possibly been set up in life right now. We talked about this the other day. So Sean just made tech. So he's an E6. If he were to try and find a job on the outside that gives him the same pay, benefits, and all the stuff he's gotten to pay off, he would have to make at least, I think it was like $170,000, $180,000 a year being a tech on the outside. And
he's a recruiter, right?
He is right now, yeah. But by trade, he does trans. So like air transportation stuff. So he loads cargo on planes and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like Pavlov.
Except he did bombs. Yeah. Essentially, it's the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just cargo. But yeah, so, and his job that he had, so he was at Hawaii first, and then he was in Arkansas. And both of those times when he would tell me about the stuff that he did at work, he would be pushing like thousands of pounds on a pallet up a ramp on a plane.
Yeah.
And it's very like exhausting doing that stuff. And it takes one mess up for that shit to roll back or fall on someone. And
so not like trying to one up that story or anything, but you're 100% correct. Like my assistant that I have now, his brother, previously before coming to work, my assistant before coming to work for this company, he would travel around the United States and he would install granite in like a lot of these apartment buildings because they're all the same. They're almost like cookie cutter shit. Like it's like
that's how apartments.
Click. Like all of them look the same.
Yeah.
And how he explained it to me is they would get to the job, there'd be like crates full of like materials such as vanities, vanity tops, whatever you need for that little apartment to put it together. And he was doing something and he heard this loud bang and then just a scream. And his brother is fucking trapped under thousands of pounds of granite.
Yeah.
And his legs just shattered.
Well, I was gonna say granite and that kind of stuff is dangerous. That shit's heavy.
Oh, dude, don't fucking tell me what I mean.
So I mean, I understand.
It's insane how heavy that shit is.
Yeah,
I mean, cast iron's pretty fucking heavy, and then there's granite, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever picked up some cast iron, like a cast iron frying pan?
Yeah, yeah.
Think of that in tub form. That's what tubs are made out of.
Yeah.
You know how we have to get those fuckers out? How do you think we get them out?
A crane? I don't know.
No, bro. You sledgehammer that bitch into 4 pieces and carry each piece out.
I mean, that'd be
dude,
easier.
we have to tell the homeowners, like, it's going to sound like your house is caving in.
Yeah.
Like chandeliers are going, like, it's nuts. But that's the only way to get them bitches out. I mean, I've seen some dudes carry. You probably could carry one up by yourself, but they're stout, bro, and weird.
Oh, I guarantee you they
are. It's not really.
It's not so much the weight.
It's just the weirdness of the object. Shape of it.
Yeah. 100%.
But 100%. Like, another kind of crazy story is, I'm working in Victorian Village, and if that's old Columbus, like, these houses have been here since forever.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are slate roofs, like my roof. It's a slate roof, and the pitches on them are nuts. We're wrapping up this job, me and Anthony, and we hear a squeal. I mean, a squeal, like a man shrieking at the top of his lungs, like he's been brutally murdered almost. Yeah. We fucking go down there. It was so sad too. I mean, I can deal with some pretty gruesome shit, like what I'm looking at, but this dude's fucking shin bones blew through his knees, just sitting in a pool of blood. And what was so sad, he slipped off the fucking roof and fell. What is so sad is he didn't give a fuck about his legs. You know what he was saying the entire time? I don't have insurance. That's all he gave a fuck about.
Well,
but that is so sad. This dude is laying like, oh, bro.
I mean, that would be the second thought I would have.
Exactly, and that's called being a fucking man. You're just like, fuck me. Like, it's like, how am I gonna? Is this gonna hurt my family? Is this gonna like bring my family down? They're gonna have to take care of. That's such a fucking man thing to say. Like, all I care about is like, how am I gonna pay? Well, yeah. Which that's so sad. Okay, so military, are you still liking your job? I
love my job.
Okay, so when you choose a job in the military, is there any way that you could transfer to something else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the basic principle is you take a test before you go to join.
Which you scored pretty highly.
I did.
Why don't you actually back up a little bit? Tell them a little bit about your process, because I brought it up before about how you weren't just going to go be a fucking cop in the military, which, don't get me wrong, that's a badass job, whatever. Yeah. You were going to go do some, like, cool shit.
Yeah, so the initial process, well, obviously, when high school ended, I had 2 options. Dad and I went on a lot of visits to colleges because I was going to go play college football somewhere. Yeah. But that's when Sean talked to me and told me, like, hey, you don't have any 100% full rides. The only possible I had would have been with Minnesota, and that's only because Dad went to high school with one of their coaches, so he had, like, a way in to be able to talk to him. So I could have went somewhere on a partial scholarship, tried to apply for a full one, or Sean was like, somewhere. Sean was like, join the military. Look at that's what he's doing. So I looked into it. We both like got together, looked at stuff, went and talked to a recruiter, and then after that was when Dan and Shelly kicked me out. I was living by myself with Jason at Jason's place. But for the next, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 months.
You really got kicked out.
Yeah. Well, because they came to me and they said, when I turned 18 after high school graduation, they were like, you either follow our rules in this house or you get out. And I was like, if I'm 18 and I want to go out and do something, I'm just going to tell you I'm going out. I'm not doing the whole, I'm here. I'm not fucking a child anymore. You're not doing this shit to me. So I was like, fuck you. I'm taking my shit and leaving. So I went and stayed with Jason. I was working at Hotheads, and basically once I started committing to the military, Me and Sean went to the YMCA.
Yeah, worked out.
Every day, 4 hours a day. We swam for 2 hours, lifted for an hour, ran for an hour. Every day, because I was trying to go spec ops. And when the
You really wanted to be a seer, which I really wanted you to be.
I really wanted to be PJ.
Oh, I thought you really wanted to be a seer.
Seer was my third choice.
Oh, fuck that. Definitely should have been number 2. That shit's dope. I want to be a seer. That shit's dope.
PJ, CCT, combat controller.
Okay.
So do you know what those do?
Are those the guys calling shit in?
Yeah, they call in the airstrikes.
They're with like they're on the grounds like
they're with Army, Marines, and even some of the more special forces sometimes to call in stuff. But so it's PJ, CCT, and then SEER was the third option.
SEER's dopest. Tell them what the SEER is, bro.
SEER is like it's expeditionary survivalist people. Yeah. So it's like
you get dropped
exactly
in
what it stands for.
You get dropped pretty much. It's like all those survival shows you see. Like you get dropped in this BFE. Shout out the pod. And fucking you pretty much have to survive and get the lay of the land and kind of wait for the actual. So those guys go in first, and then what? The Marines and like them come in next. Or
SEER is more like the survivalist guys. So they like are the ones that put on the camouflage. They do scouting missions. They're the ones that go in and can like get intel and stuff without being detected.
Like
that's the point of SEER. Yeah, bro. And they're survivalists. So the course for that is actually really difficult. And that's
but PJ, that was right up mine and Tyler's alley.
Yeah. But that's PJ was my number 1, and it's the hardest one to get into.
Yeah.
So it was PJ, CCT, and then SEER. And I trained for that, and I passed the physical test for it actually. Like I was able to go do it. What disqualified me from being able to do it was
your test scores were up there too. You got a 92, correct? I want to say it was a 92.
It's not off of, so the ASVAB you take is not off of a 100% test. There's 4 categories. There's mechanical, general, and there's 2 others. I forget exactly what they are. But you get a score in each one, and those dictate what jobs are available.
Yeah.
I talked to Sean, I think it was a couple weeks ago, just running back through it, because now that he's a recruiter, he can pull that stuff up super easy. But we were talking about it, and out of my ASVAB scores, I qualified for like 160 jobs.
You pretty much could have done whatever the fuck you wanted.
Pretty much, other than like the super like linguist or like super high intel stuff. Those people are like ridiculously smart. Like that's
almost like what Chelsea does.
I honestly don't even know what she does anymore. Because I know she was a sonar tech in
the for a long time. Now she's stupid high up in the Navy. Now.
Oh yeah, I know that. But yeah, so after that, we trained, did all that stuff. I passed the test for it. Well, the Air Force wasn't sending out enough people for spec ops, so they came down with what was called a TAPAS test, which is a personality test. And their thought process was, if you take this personality test and you can test the same way a current spec ops person does, we'll push you through, and then we'll just hope they beat you in shape while you're out there.
Yeah.
Well, mine was the opposite. I passed the physical portion. I took that personality test, and the personality test disqualified me.
Yeah, because you like cats, bro.
I mean, it kind of was. So it was like, and the thing is, too, about that test, it was like, do you prefer dogs or cats?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of death? Yes or no? Like,
see,
stuff
but
like
honestly,
that.
you probably went in way too macho. They probably wanted you to be like, yeah, we don't want you to just fucking be going out. You probably like, I ain't afraid of nothing, bitch. You probably put that underneath either.
I mean, I did answer it like probably a little more dramatic than I should have, but I went about it in a way that I would be okay answering. It's not like I was lying about it, but I was definitely probably a little dramatic with some of that. But I was thinking, spec ops, I was thinking trying to answer the way they would, because I really wanted that job.
Yeah. Like Lone Survivor and shit you've seen.
Yeah.
Like, nothing gets to me. If I have a broken leg, I'll tear it off and beat the fuck out of someone.
But yeah, so that disqualified me, and then after that, I talked to my recruiter, and he said I could go be a cop, and that was honestly my second choice that I wanted to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
It was.
Really? I didn't know that.
The main reason I wanted to be a cop is because I've always had a protector mentality.
Yeah.
I like to protect people, and a lot of people look at cops in the military, especially guys I know and have known for years, are like, oh, cops just pull people over.
Well, remember what I told you too. Like, every time I fucking call you, all you're doing is taking tickets. But you put me in my place real quick, and I'm glad that you did, because a lot of times, unfortunately, that's what people think. They're like, dude, all you're doing is passing out fucking DUIs to your buddies and fucking collecting tickets.
Well, it's even worse. So a lot of times, especially with my job being security forces, a lot of the time we're a responsive force. So a lot of times we're checking IDs at the gate, which is super easy, boring. It's just, and we're not doing that. We're sitting inside, either eating on our phones, doing stuff, just paying attention, but like still, not doing a whole lot. Then there's patrolling, where you're actually out patrolling. but a lot of the stuff we do, we don't have anything to do unless something happens.
Yeah, it's
So
almost like firefighters.
For
and
my
stuff.
job, if it's boring and quiet and slow,
That's
it means
good.
no one's doing anything stupid.
And yeah,
But I have, obviously, it hasn't happened being up here yet, but when I was in Shaw in South Carolina and even in England at my first base, I did have quite a few things I responded to. Shaw was more where a lot of the stuff happened.
you said England?
Yeah, England was my first
Okay.
base, yeah. And that one was more of a learning experience. But Shaw, my second base in South Carolina, was where I had a lot of my stuff happen that I've seen, both of my deployments that I went on. I've seen an
I
experience.
came down to that base.
Stuff.
That base was pretty cool.
Yeah, Shaw. Yeah, you came to South Carolina.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of I liked where you were at in South Carolina. That it was pretty nice.
the area outside of base where I was living was like, that's what was awful about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it was 45 minutes from USC, University of South Carolina,
That's not bad.
but it was 45-minute drive if you wanted to go do anything. Like the nearest Chipotle was 45 minutes away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it when we were
They
there.
had all kinds of other restaurants there, like fast food places.
Yeah, when I took me and my first girlfriend down there, it was pretty
Yeah,
dope.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but
Yeah. I mean, even the house you were kind of staying at, it wasn't like the dopest,
I can tell
but
you
like
that house or that apartment that I was staying in. No.
It was a house.
You came when I was renting the house. Yeah.
Mhm.
So after that, I moved to a apartment that I rented.
Yeah.
The apartment was so like literally almost half what I'm paying for rent now, and it was bigger and had more space.
So
It's so annoying.
are you on base right now? Or
No,
you
no,
got
I
your own
live.
place off the
Yeah,
base?
I live by the base. I'm not on the base, but I'm
Roommate
right
or you by yourself?
No, I'm by myself. I'll never
One
live
bedroom?
two. I'll never live with a roommate again, dude. That stuff was awful.
You
problem
really
is-
got to find it.
My problem is that I'm so OCD and clean about stuff that
I'm
the dude that I lived with when I first got up here I lived on base with him in on base housing.
Mm-hmm.
I could not stand how he lived, that he didn't clean up after himself, the dishes left in the sink.
Do you know how many?
Disgusting.
Do you know how many
stand it.
mental breakdowns I've had, like living at this place?
I can't imagine.
Did you ever see my tiny home?
Yeah, I came over there and lived.
And what was
or
it?
I didn't live, but I stayed there a couple times.
It was immaculate.
It was
Everything.
other than the dog hair everywhere.
Yeah,
but that's what
that's
happens
true.
with a pet
Yeah.
like that. But
Mhm.
yes, it was very clean.
Yes.
And kept together.
But that's how we
think
were.
about how we grew up.
Exactly. We
Shelly
had
was blind. We had to put everything back exactly where it went all
exactly.
the time.
Yes. Yeah. Everything. We had a. I know people will be like, "Wow, you guys had a cleaning." Anyone I tell them that, but our house was so fucking clean. She came and dusted, guys. Like,
No, here's the thing. We had a cleaning lady that we would clean the house before the cleaning lady came.
exactly.
And then the cleaning lady would clean, and then she would leave, and later that night we would be cleaning.
Nah.
Yes, don't
Nah.
start.
Well, I mean, we had to clean up after like dinner. That's normal. Taking out the trash. But what I'm getting, like, we never vacuumed. Every once in a while we had to vacuum. If
I mean,
like,
I know I vacuumed the basement a lot, but I was in the basement a lot.
yeah, I don't think she ever.
She
cleaned
never,
on
because
the
that's the one place we went that was not like touched.
Yeah, our basement was cool too. Like when
Oh,
Dad
yeah, it wasn't
finished that,
bad,
it was pretty dope.
So
That was so. It was cool. Did you ever drive past it now?
I've driven past it a few times.
It's still the same, but a lot different. Supposedly they turned the loft into an actual bedroom.
I mean, it wouldn't take much to do that. But
No, but yeah. So that's a bedroom. I think it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath now.
yeah, so
House.
before, yeah.
Which it's insane to me. Like, have you seen the neighborhood now?
Oh,
There's
yeah, I've
3
driven-
different entries now.
So when I came to your wedding, I had Rachel with me, obviously, and I drove her through our hometown just to kind of give her
Yeah.
an idea of how stuff was, and I was
Mhm.
explaining what changed from when we grew up there to when
Yeah,
it wasn't. And I was like, oh my God, just getting off that exit, all the restaurants, the Starbucks, all that other stuff.
that was in the last year or so.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that even that stuff has changed so much.
I mean, the biggest difference is all the warehouses.
oh yeah.
It's sad. That's
Yeah.
shitty.
Well, not only that, but like the new high school and all that.
That's nice,
dude. All of that stuff. I wish I would have.
Well,
had that.
you got to play on the turf football field 1 year, so
2
you really
years.
can't.
No, it's one
No,
year.
1 year.
It was my senior year.
Yeah, because you scored the first touchdown on the fucking new
I
turf
still got.
football
I
field.
still got the football that we signed after. It
That's
saying,
nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool. But yeah, we brought up a bunch about football and stuff, and it's supposedly Watkins just got thumped. But you know who our head football coach is right now, right?
No.
It's the Licking Heights old head football coach. Like back when you guys were playing and we were playing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's our football coach now. We had the Pickerington North football coach, but he wasn't doing good, I don't think. And then they canned him and moved on.
Yeah, it's been.
You know what the biggest challenge for me is?
What?
My son's not an athlete, not into sports at all.
You talking about
Rylan? At all.
I mean, that's fine. Not everyone's going to be.
No. You haven't had kids yet. Wait till you have to go through it. It's so weird because you can't be like, you can't treat them how we were kind of treated. He has no competitive, like he's competitive, but not in any aspect like we are.
Yeah,
dude,
it comes down to how you were raised. I mean, he's old enough that like the stuff that he was taught when he was younger is how it kind of molded him. But think about it from the youngest that you can remember. What were we doing when we were in Florida?
Playing sports.
Everything about what we did was sports and competitive.
The thing is, like, we've tried with sports with him, but it's just not his lane.
He might not be into it.
I think he's going to be an engineer, and he's going to be, which I'm pumped about because
world needs that.
The older I get, the more I'm like, listen, Rylan, unless you're going to play golf, you ain't doing shit, brother. Yeah. Okay? So I'm happy that he's kind of a little nerdy. He fucking got this, like, I can't even remember what the fuck it's called. It's like a flute or something. It goes like this. Yeah. Like, he's in band. So he's in Boy Scouts. But that has been such a crazy learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Coming from how we were raised, how competitive the sports. Yeah. Like, and even my wife. My wife was fucking good at sports. Yeah. Haley was a solid fucking softball player until she had the baby. Like, she had to stop.
Yeah.
So it's just so weird to me. And like, even his dad was like a wrestler and played football and stuff.
And that's why I said it just goes. It's how they were raised and what they're exposed to. Because like Sean obviously has Colson now, and Hayden's growing up. Hayden's gonna be put into sports and probably be competitive just because that's how he. And I know him and Tara are gonna raise him like that. I know Colson for a fact is gonna be doing that stuff. Anybody else that I know that has kids that are doing that I know that I'm close with, are doing the same things.
Well,
and I know when I end up having kids, it's going to be the same way.
Well, to be fair, it might not, because I thought that, because Rylan has been playing sports since he was like 5. But some kids don't develop into athletes. Some kids develop more brain-wise, and they're more like,
well, there's nothing wrong
why the fuck are we just running around in a circle kicking this ball when I could be over here building something?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's how much you aid and assist them with that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying you force people or force your kids to do that, but you should at least give an effort.
Let them at least try everything.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is it's more just not having a sibling, not having that drive, not having that edge, not having that
too.
Oh, it's 100%. Like, if kids, and I can probably, I'm not like a pro or anything, but I've been from divorced parents. I have seen that aspect of life. I've have an older kid. I have a 1.5-year-old. I've changed 1,000 fucking like I've been around the block. Like I kind of know a little bit.
Well, I mean,
what I'm getting at there is, even though you might have been a stud in school, sports, whatever, that sometimes doesn't translate to your kid at all. Which is kind of cool to me, but in the end, it's kind of sad too, because, I mean, our dad got to live through us, just like Papa got to live through our dad. Like, our dad has said this multiple times. One of his proudest moments is being able to watch both me and you start varsity football. Yeah, I was just special teams, and I was the backup corner. But
I still remember the play when I returned that kickoff or punt for a touchdown, and you were running up the sideline on the field with me.
Dude! And then I remember the fucking one kick that was coming straight for me. I was like, I got this, bro. I'm fucking catching this bitch. I caught it, but they ended up calling a timeout, or they blew the whistle. I was so fucking pissed because I caught that bitch. I was like, Isaac, get in front of me, bitch. We're fucking taking this to the house. Like, but that was super cool, but kind of spinning around. I wish Rylan could have those moments, and maybe he will in fucking marching band. They'll be fucking fluting it up right in someone's face. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely probably would have picked the drums, but whatever.
It's different. Like I said, it just depends how much you want to push your kids. Because, I mean, it does have aspects to it. But
what is also really kind of difficult for me is I do have a partner. Like, I have a wife, and she's going to have different outlooks on how things should be done than I will.
And that's where you guys gotta
and it's taken me a long time, and I'm not shitting you. What has helped me a lot, and I've definitely never been diagnosed, and I've always been told my entire life I probably should be on what I definitely have that.
What, the ADHD?
Whatever. My brain is going 1,000 miles an hour all the time. And what I've found is, like, I know people have different opinions about marijuana and stuff like that, but I don't smoke. I'm not good at it. It's everyone always tries to get me to, and when I do it, I throw up in a bush. I just don't know how to smoke. Like, I know that sounds so corny and so like, this dude's a fucking idiot, and I get it. I'll pop an edible, brother, and I'm the life. I've always been the life of the party, but I'm just like. But what I do like about it is it kind of shuts off all the I don't know, like the fucking smoke back here. Like, it's just,
no, I get what you're saying.
But there is a spinoff of that, because there also is paranoia when it comes to that. Now, I'm kind of a veteran at this point that I can push through it. Bro, I've only had one bad trip. And guess where it was? At a fucking bowling alley. Oh, bro. I'll paint the picture for you. No. It wasn't anything like that. This is newer into my marijuana experience, and we're there, and all I cared about was breaking 100. Like, I'm always like, if I can at least break 100, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
So I did. I remember the score was 109. I'm like, fuck yeah. But I'm sitting down, and we're getting to like the bottom of the frames, and the later in the frames I'm getting to, I keep thinking people are going to fuck me up. Like, they're wanting to come beat my ass. And it's me, my wife, and Nick. And there might have been Daniel, too, or something. I was very well, like, I didn't have to worry about a thing. Like, but in my mind, like, I'm like, I would probably say, like, I try and be a little macho. Like, my wife, like, at this time, my girlfriend's there. Like, I'll fuck anyone up. You look at her wrong. You talk to her wrong, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't computing up here. Like, I'm like, oh, I would definitely get my shit rocked right now. Like, sometimes I get like that, and it's hard. Like, it's almost like when you get shit-faced drunk, and you think you're a Billy Badass, but a stiff fucking wind will blow your ass over.
See, I can't relate. Dude, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been drunk in my life.
And I am so sorry for that. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump right back into this, and we're going to get into Isaac's lifting, because that's a perfect segue into why you don't, like, drink a lot, why you are the way you are, and stuff like that. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to jump right back into it. And we're back. So we kind of wrapped up a little bit about the military jobs. We might jump back into it a little later, kind of talk sports, a little bit of gambling, but let's get into your massive self. Like, where does that come from? I know I always get fucking ragged on for blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
But I am proud of you. You're kind of a specimen of a human. Kind of a comic character, like supervillain, superhero type. That's literally kind of what you look like.
It just depends. There's lots. So it's not only you. I've met a lot of people over the years that have said and made comments.
Well, you just look like an action figure.
Well,
like, you're just like,
especially when I'm at work and I'm in my uniform working.
G.I.
And
Joe,
we have
fucking...
we have what's called
is it the half zip?
No, the combat
that one's
vest.
dope.
Yeah, so it zips right here, but it's tight fitting.
Yeah,
it's intended to be like cooler.
I have one.
Yeah, so we wear them under our vests, and when I wear those, like, I'm out there, people pull up and they're like, "Oh, we got Captain America, G.I. Joe." Like, people have told me I look like Pat Tillman. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I've heard of.
He was in the military and then went and played football, or reverse, one of those two. I think he played football and then went to the military. People pulled up and said that I look like John Cena. I don't know. I think it's more so just the size. I think it's the jawline.
Yeah.
Those two. But I've had people come up and say all kinds of random stuff when they come up to me working at the gate and stuff. I have people come through now that are like, "Hey man, I think you need to get a bigger top." I'm like,
be like, "Yeah, it's already an XXL, so shut your fucking mouth."
So,
But
I mean, that's how it is, though. Dude, my entire wardrobe, my sweatshirts are 3X. My T-shirts are 2X. And my sweats, I have to get one size larger for my
dude,
legs.
just start
That's
buying
just how it is.
tarps. Just fucking throw some tarps over you.
Well, I
thought that's what we were gonna have to do with your fucking wedding
buy,
thing.
I buy slightly bigger because, one, I'm anticipating obviously going to continue to grow, but it's just more comfortable. I don't really like the whole tight fitting aspect of stuff. It just I don't like the way it feels and looks, and plus it adds to the effect of people already saying stuff when it comes to that.
Yeah, but if you get fucking two, because at that point, like if you're in the 4X, it's pretty much a tarp.
So I'm gonna
Like,
tell
you're
you
just
right.
like,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
blowing in the
so
wind, brother.
the people that I've talked to when it comes to like bodybuilding and that aspect of like getting into competing again.
Yeah.
The potential coach I talked to, he wants me to push for 270, so I can get up to 270 body weight and then cut down to what my stage weight would be. So,
Dude,
it's big.
it's
big.
I know, and that's not healthy. You're already big enough.
You can do it. You can do it healthily, but that's my struggle. Is like, and that's what we'll get into when it comes to like how this all happened and why it's such a struggle. Because if you remember when I was a kid,
You were a string bean.
I
brother.
was tall
You look like
and
a
skinny.
fucking praying mantis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You definitely. I will put some credit on you. You were always grinding in the fucking gym,
And
no one could ever take that away from you. Like how much you either loved the gym or you just fucking grinded in that thing because.
Well,
But to be fair, the Morsons definitely had a fucking stigma in high school of being tryhards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ran across one of us in gym class, good luck. You're dying, dude.
Yeah.
We're fucking taking your head off. Floor hockey, fucking checking you into something. Like, let's go, dude. If we're playing basketball, I'm fouling every time. Like,
But I mean, and the same thing goes for like me and Sean together. I mean, obviously I started lifting before him, but me and him are the same way. We both just lifted, put on size. Sean's always been a bigger person in general, but me specifically,
yeah, Sean was a fucking lanky mother trucker, dude.
he just had size to him just because that's how he's built. And now that he's actually got into lifting and understands it just like me, and we've both understood how dieting works, how lifting works, how all that works together. If I would have known, we've talked about this actually almost bi-weekly, of if we had the knowledge and expertise that we have now when it comes to lifting and dieting and stuff back in like high school.
Yeah, you
oh
guys
my
would've crushed
god,
it,
it would have been. We would have looked like some of those upperclassmen when we were freshmen.
Yeah,
and absolutely would have
like Reno, fucking Bear, all them dudes. You're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, but ours would have been because we earned it through the hard work rather than genetically just being gifted with the stuff that they had at that stuff. So
Sean. Not identical looks wise, but his persona and everything is Nate Diaz.
You think so?
Oh my god! Every time I see Nate Diaz, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Sean Johnson. Dude, this dude, even the way he walked in high school, didn't give a fuck. Like, you just looked at this motherfucker and you were just like, that motherfucker whooped my ass and he wouldn't care one bit.
That's
Either
just how
way,
it is. People
like,
have never fucked with Sean. They're always like,
but to be fair, like you probably know, he's a sweetheart. It's just like my best friend.
I mean, well, I don't know if I would use the word sweetheart.
Okay, how would you describe him?
I would describe Sean as someone that gets shit done and doesn't fuck around with anything that doesn't need to be fucked around with.
But he has a soft side to him.
But very, very, very few people see it.
Okay, yeah, his kids, and I would say you, hopefully. You're his fucking best friend.
I mean, to an extent.
This dude's never cried to you about anything.
Not really. We're both like that.
And are you really his best friend?
We're both like that. That's just how we're built.
Okay.
One, that's how we're built. What we've been through together has bonded us together like that. But no, I'd never say that he's like that. The only people I would see him with, and it's not even like I've seen it. I've seen a softer side, but it was
a Tara
with his wife, yes,
and
with his kids, which is the only people he would really be like that with.
I get it, yeah.
But yes, I do know him better than anybody. I mean, I'm not going to say I know him better than Tara. I've known him longer than Tara.
Yeah,
I've known him just as probably much as she does to an extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't say he's a sweetheart by any means.
See, but like my best friend,
you and Tyler are different.
Okay, how would you explain Tyler to people?
I would explain Tyler as somebody who he's more laid back and he'll get along with people and just likes to vibe kind of thing. If it needs to come to it, he'll do what he needs to for the given moment. But for the most part, he's not going to come out as like, he'll come out and like intentionally be nice and like sweet.
Yeah.
Sean's not like that. Sean will be respectful. And that's why, going back to what we talked about earlier, when we joined the military and you said that you wouldn't think he would do good.
Yeah.
The reason he does so good.
To be fair, I wasn't the only one that thought that.
But that's because everybody had the stigma on him about stuff. People
To be fair, did he not put that like I said, he has a Nate Diaz kind of vibe to him. Like, I mean, I vividly remember him almost beating the shit out of someone like on the ground playing football. Because
I mean, yeah, he's got a temper. Just I mean, a lot of us, like, that's why we get along so like that. But he also has been on the bad side of taking the rap for a lot of stuff he didn't do.
Okay, yeah,
he was an easy blame for people.
Yeah,
because of how he was and how he was viewed. But that's not actually who he is.
Oh, and please, Sean, hopefully you do watch us. Definitely click that subscribe button. But hopefully you know, like, both of us are coming from a loving place. I've known Sean through you for a long time. Like, I've looked up to Sean, respected him, and I mean, I've never poked that bear. There's no fucking point to like, what the fuck? I mean, he reminds me a little bit of like Rex and Alex. Like, those two guys, like, you just don't fuck with them. Like, they're just like,
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is, like, that's why my friend group that I have, like, I'm not nowhere near like you are, where I have so many friends and so much.
Ours is an anomaly. It's not normal.
I have two people.
You're the norm.
I have two people that I genuinely call my friends that are close.
Name your groomsmen. Who's standing next to you if you get fucking married?
I mean, it'll be Sean is my best man for sure. I'll have you there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I would fucking hope so. You kind of have to.
And then for sure, I'm gonna invite Ash.
Ash, okay.
Yeah, Asher is the buddy that I met in South Carolina, and we've been close ever since then. Honestly, more than that, that's
what I'm saying. You're the norm. So you're a lot like my wife. So my wife, who, like, on her side, there was two dudes standing on her side.
Yeah.
I was two of her brothers.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have them on mine.
Yeah.
It was impossible. I even had a girl stand on my side. Like, again, one of the reasons I started this podcast is because of that. I have such a dynamic friend group that has so many different spots. Like, and so many guys are at so many different levels and so many different personalities. And hopefully a lot of these, you could maybe relate to one of these people where they're just like, wow, I'm a lot like that person.
Yeah.
Or I can definitely resonate and relate to what that guy's going through.
That's
or girl's
why
going
it's so
through.
different for us and any of the people that
it's always been like that.
Any of the people who have met you and then have met me,
they're like, there's no your brothers.
Completely different. Yeah. Because I'm more set back.
Yeah.
I keep more to myself. You're more open, more bubbly, more talkative, more that.
I mean, we kind of saw it growing up. Like, a perfect example is like back in the day when we throw birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like, you probably have like a handful of dudes that like would come over, or a couple girls, like whatever. Bro, the cops got called on one of my birthday parties back in the day because there was 50 kids at our house. Like, it was a zoo. Like, but I was in high school, I got rated like the class clown. Like, you were not like, you were a reserved dude. And one thing always pissed me off is you did get bullied in school, and it pissed me off.
So
I don't understand why.
Because I literally kept to myself, and I was an easy target. Because people knew they could fuck with me, and I wouldn't retaliate.
You should have beat the fuck out of them.
Well, that was the
and
issue.
Do
you remember?
To be fair, no one ever really beat you. They just made fun of you.
When I got suspended for fighting for that?
Yeah, and you fucked that dude up.
Yeah, Sean was in that class.
Oh, he
was the only person. Sean and I have said this story to a few people, but the day that happened, the only person in that class who could have stopped that was Sean. And 100%. Everyone was like, "Sean, stop it!" And he's like, "No." He's like,
"Fuck that kid, dude, 100%, dude." I mean.
I'm the type of person, and I'm not like that so much now, but back in the day, I was more of I'm just going to continue to take the beatings, because that's how my life had been up to that point. And then
to be fair, both, like...
Yeah.
We just took two different... I never wanted that for me, and it always hurt me to see that happening to you, because the only time I actually saw it, because we were in the same grade, so I couldn't be there for you, like... Or vice versa, but... I saw it on the bus, and it did always piss me off because a lot of the shit that you were saying was fucking funny, and then you put your own, like, sprinkle on top. Like, you would make funny noises that you thought were funny, and everyone was like, dude, you're fucking dumb. But fuck all those guys. Like, if you thought it was funny and I'm sitting there fucking dying laughing, fuck everyone else. Like, these fucking bums.
There's a lot of concepts that pertains to. Like I said, I kept to myself. No one really knew much about me. And even into football, like, even the guys I was in my graduating class when we played football and stuff, they're always like, this dude doesn't, like, no one knows who I am other than Sean. He was the only one that saw me grinding day in and day out, just like you said that
Yeah.
And then when junior year and then senior year came around and I erupted.
Put it on for show. Like, hey, brother, like, this is me.
Who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
And Sean even said prior to that season, he's like, you guys are going to make fun of this motherfucker and watch. He's going to pop off and you guys are going to be like, well, and guess what happened? Everybody was like, hey, man, get away from me.
Yeah,
like, no,
100%.
That's not how that works.
Dude, literally, this dude, and again, I'll zip you up here soon, but scored the first touchdown on the turf football field on the first kickoff, guys. It was
a punt return.
All right, whatever. Yeah. Punt return.